Don't get people who are just gonna be like, oh, it's all sunshine and butterflies, because that's not helpful. Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kat, and today we're talking about editing. So editing can be fucking brutal. It sucks, it takes forever, but editing is what makes your book a book. It is what makes your book good. It's what takes your idea and makes it brilliant. It takes a good book and makes it great. It takes a bad book and makes it good. Editing is 110% necessary. You will never not need to edit, so do not kid yourselves. A little while ago on my blog, I actually did a post on the many steps of editing because there are many steps. So if you haven't checked that out yet, I do encourage you to go see that. I'll leave a link right here. Go check it out. So now that you're back, editing is a long ass process. It can take months. Like, it can take years depending on how fast you are, how much free time you have. But your novel needs editing, and it most likely needs professional editing. Not that everyone has the money to go out and get a professional editor, but if you do, you may want to. And if you're looking for an agent to get you a publisher, then I actually do highly recommend it, even though it takes a lot of money. But unless you're like the Zeus, the mighty god of editing, you may need a professional edit. Depending on your route, if you're going traditional, you may not need it because an agent will usually help you buff up your manuscript. But if you're not very good at editing and you still think that your book may need a lot of edits before you go to agents, I would highly consider getting a professional editor. And you also need to go through your beta readers and critique partners. They might be able to help you enough so that you don't need a professional edit, but if you don't have them, you really gotta get on that. But then in the self-publishing world, you edit your own book. You write the book, you edit the book, you get a professional editor, a cover designer, etc., to go do your self-publishing. But note how I still said you need a professional editor. You need one. You need one. Do not publish your book until your book has seen one. At least one. So now, just editing yourself, let's talk about some fast track tips to help your editing go smoothly and quickly. My first big tip is outline. Outline your book before you even start writing. That'll help you get out all your character development, some of your world building. It'll help you know exactly what's gonna happen so you don't have all this pointless filler crap in between to edit out later. So not only will it save you time in editing, but it will save you a ton of time in actually writing. My second tip is, if you are a good multitasker, use that. Combine your editing passes into doable portions. Like, world building is a pretty big pass, but if you want to combine that with maybe a bit of character development or something, if you're a good multitasker, that's okay. But if you're not, don't even try it. Just don't. Next fast track editing tip is use your betas and your critique partners to the max. Use them as much as you can because no one's gonna help you edit your book more than them. Unless you get a professional editor, then they probably will help even more. Make sure when you're choosing your betas and your critique partners, you do not personally know them. And what I mean by that is that they are not your close friends, they are not your family members, they are not your parents. Choose people, usually on the internet, that you trust, and you trust their opinion, and they will tell you like it is. Don't get people who are just gonna be like, oh, it's all sunshine and butterflies, because that's not helpful. Another big thing is, do not line edit before you story edit. If you have not done a big picture edit yet, you don't need to edit the fine little dots, the little commas. You don't need to edit this word should go here. You need to edit for the big overall picture, or else you're just wasting your time. you might just remove that complete section later. You don't know until you do the big picture edits, so do those first. Next, always give yourself lots of time between edits. I know it kind of sucks, especially sometimes you just want to jump right into the next edit, but if you literally just wrote the book or you're just did an edit, you're gonna just glaze over everything. You're just gonna read it like you want to read it, and you're not gonna really pay that much attention. Trust me, I've done it. There are still tons of stupid little things I miss if I just go and edit right after one another. So what's best to do is I would leave yourself a couple days in between, leave yourself weeks or a month if you can, though that's not necessary. It just depends personally for you. The last thing I want to mention is be ready to spend a lot of time editing. Editing should probably take you as long as it took you to write the book, if not longer, depending on how much you have to fix. If you do like I do and you kind of edit as you go, then you may not need to do it as much. But if you're not, if you don't have an outline, if you're just freeballing it, if you're pantsing it, then you might have a lot to fix. Take your time, don't rush it. It's gonna take a while, but the last thing you want to do is send your unpolished, crappy manuscript to some agents and then lose them forever. So what you want to do, take as much time as you need to edit, think about hiring a professional, make sure your betas and your critique partners help you out, make sure you get that manuscript as nice as physically can be before you query or before you self-publish. And if you're self-publishing, you need a professional editor. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, if there's anything that I didn't cover in this video / my blog post about the many steps of editing, leave me a comment below so we can discuss. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe if you're new here. You can read chapters 1, 2, and 3 of Haven on my website for free, so why not do it? So thank you guys for watching. My name is Kat, and I'll see you next week, guys.